Arrests over an alleged plot to attack an army base.
Potentially this would have been, if it had been able to be carried out, the most serious terrorist attack on Australian soil.
Malcolm Turnbull lays the blame over Oscar.
We have been misled. Let's be quite clear about this.
China's displeasure as an exiled activist visits Australia. And the century that saved Australia in the third test. Good evening. 4 men are facing terrorism charges after a joint police investigation foiled an alleged suicide mission at the Holsworthy Army Barracks in Sydney. The arrests followed raids by hundreds of police across Victoria. Police allege the group has links to a Somalian terror organisation and was planning to attack soldiers with automatic weapons. Victoria's police chief says the attack would have been Australia's worst terrorist incident. Lisa Maximovic reports.
In a carefully orchestrated strike, 400 officers swooped on properties across Victoria. Police say the raids foiled a plan to carry out a devastating terrorism attack on Australian military personnel.
Potentially this would have been, if it had been able to be carried out, the most serious terrorist attack on Australian soil.
Police allege the group was plotting a deadly suicide mission at Sydney's Holsworthy Army Barracks.
Details of the planning indicated the alleged offenders were prepared to inflict a sustained attack on military personnel until they themselves were killed.
The Australian Federal Police say the suspects have links to the Somalian terror organisation Al-Shabaab, known for its anti-Western sentiments. Since police detected a security threat in January, an intense joint surveillance operation, codenamed Neath, has monitored the group, intercepting phone calls and text messages. Operating from a mobile control centre this morning, police stormed 19 homes across Melbourne's northern suburbs and in the southwest Victorian town of Colac. 4 men were arrested and property was seized. The Victorian Police Commissioner said the entire operation was jeopardised by an intelligence leak to the Australian newspaper, which printed the story before the raids took place.
I am particularly concerned about anything that puts my members or other law enforcement officers at risk, their lives at risk.
So far, only 25-year-old Naif El Saeed has been charged. The Australian national is charged with acting in preparation for or planning a terrorism act. Facing the Melbourne Magistrates Court this afternoon, El Saeed refused to stand for the magistrate. He mumbled when asked why, saying only through his lawyer that he should not have to stand for any man but God. A police informant told the court the AFP has security footage of one of the suspects, Wissam Fatal, casing the Holsworthy barracks, and a text message he allegedly wrote to an associate which said getting in would be easy. The AFP has been granted more time to question Fatal and 2 other men tonight. A 5th man was questioned this afternoon. Naif El Saeed will reappear in October. Lisa Maximovic, ABC News, Melbourne.
Security at the Holsworthy base was stepped up 3 months ago when authorities became aware of suspicious activity in the area. Nevertheless, they concede that armed terrorists would have caused extensive damage had they managed to enter the base. More from our national security correspondent, Matt Brown.
As counter-terrorism troops exercised over Sydney, news was breaking that their base in the city's west was the target of the alleged terrorist plot.
It was proposed that a number of men would enter into the barracks with automatic weapons with a view to killing as many soldiers as possible. Should they have made the entry, they would likely have killed many, many officers.
We work hard to ensure that we maintain a constant level of readiness. These activities that happen or incidents that happen are just background to what we normally train for.
While unarmed civilians man the front gate, Holsworthy's been home to soldiers who've served in both Afghanistan and Iraq.
The threat of terrorism is alive and well, and this requires continued vigilance on the part of our security authorities.
The fact that the alleged target was our own military personnel who defend our nation under our flag, wearing our uniform, is also very disturbing indeed.
Security at the base was boosted when police suspected it had become a target. As police raided homes in Melbourne, they also looked to Sydney for more information. For most of the soldiers at Holsworthy Base, today it's been business as usual, but a 35-year-old man from Lakemba nearby is helping police with their inquiries. The conflict in Somalia has spawned the extremist group Al-Shabaab, Arabic for the boys, which has been linked to Al-Qaeda. Australian Somali leaders have been sceptical about warnings that young men are going to fight with the extremist group in Mogadishu, and they're now horrified by the latest allegations.
The investigation has also identified the alleged travel of Australian citizens to Somalia to participate in hostilities in that country.
People don't like violence. Violence is what brought us here. And if you run away thousands of kilometers to look a safe place and better place to live, the last thing you need to see is, again, that to happen.
However, police claim the group went so far as to seek crucial religious approval, a fatwa, to back their plan. Matt Brown, ABC News, Sydney.